I was going through some new additions to the rare book collection here at the Marriott Library when I came across an old tourist pamphlet from 1910, The Seeing Trips. To see Salt Lake, you must take the Seeing Trip. Obvious sights included the Capitol building in Temple Square, but right below was the old rock wall, or the old city wall on the back, you decide. I had never heard of such a thing in Salt Lake before, so I went straight to the internet. To my mild shock, there was no information readily available, but according to The Seeing Trips, this wall was the third best place in the city, even beating out the first house in Utah or the St. Mark's Episcopal Church. Sorry guys. If this wall was so interesting, why haven't I heard about it before? I grabbed all the other Salt Lake tourist pamphlets from the vault to look for other details, which most had absolutely nothing until finally, in this little unassuming pamphlet, Information for Tourists, said, in 1853, the Spanish Wall was built on the east and south of the city as a protection against Indians. It was 12 feet high, 6 feet thick, and 9 miles long, which sounded quite substantial and seemed to be what I was looking for. But where the name Spanish Wall came from, spoiler, I never found out. It was my only lead, so I grabbed the History of Salt Lake to try to find out what was happening, but it was laughably brief about the year 1853, mentioning hardly anything. Thanks a lot, Edward Toolidge. However, a mention in a pioneer memoir, Military Life in the West, said, "Then came the outbreak of the Walker War, named for the Ute chief Walker. The Walker War is the name given to some minor skirmishes between the Indians and pioneers during this time. In looking into accounts of Chief Walker and the war, the pioneers constructed big protective walls around their cities. But more importantly, I found out it started in July. This took me to the July 30th, 1853 edition of the Deseret newspaper, which mentioned Indian difficulties, and in the very next edition, with a several-month gap due to paper shortages, boom, an entire article about the city wall. Included was a very detailed description of the wall's location, which would have been approximately the roads of 900 South, 900 East, 4th Avenue, and 800 North, using the Jordan River as its western flank. Now, I did check, and to my immense disappointment, no sections of the wall remain today. But there are subtle reminders of the wall's past existence. The 9-line trail follows the wall's footprint, and this last section of the wall here is a road called Wall Street. Amazing. So, where did it go? Well, as Salt Lake City grew and that Indian problem went away, the wall was replaced with roads or allowed to crumble, to be forgotten, except by one tourist company in 1910, showing people the few sections that were remaining. The internet has a lot of information, but not everything is easily accessible, if it exists there at all. Information that has been forgotten is maybe sitting on a shelf, waiting to be rediscovered.